The money sitting in your savings account right now is losing value every single day, even though the number on the screen never goes down. Let me show you what I mean. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough, and I think it's because it's slow and quiet instead of dramatic. A market crash makes headlines. Inflation just happens in the background every year, and most people never actually feel it happening in real time. They just notice years later that their money doesn't stretch like it used to. Let's make this concrete. If you're keeping a chunk of money in a savings account earning next to nothing, and prices are rising even modestly every year, your money's buying power is shrinking the entire time, even though the balance on the app never goes down. That's the part that tricks people. Nothing feels wrong. The number's the same or even a little bit higher. But what that number can actually buy keeps getting smaller. Now stack taxes on top of that. Whatever interest that savings account is earning, assuming it's earning anything meaningful at all, is typically taxable. So you're being taxed on the growth while inflation is quietly eating the buying power of the principal underneath it. That's a double squeeze that most people never actually stop to calculate. And this is exactly why just leave it in a bank account or just buy term and invest the difference in the market isn't automatically the safe, disciplined choice that it sounds like. The market has real risk. Jonathan doesn't want his family's safety net tied to whatever the market happens to be doing the week that something goes wrong. And a savings account has a quieter but just as real risk. It's guaranteed to lose purchasing power over time, even while it feels safe. This is why I keep coming back to a properly structured policy as part of the answer. Not because it's flashy, but because the growth inside it is not dependent on market swings. And depending on how it's structured, it can be more tax advantaged than a basic savings account. It's not about chasing the highest possible return. It's about protecting what you've already worked for from those two quiet threats that never show up as a single scary headline, but they add up to a real cost over 20 or 30 years. And this brings us right back to where this whole series started. Remember the claim that whole life insurance is a scam because it doesn't maximize your return compared to the market? That argument almost never accounts for what inflation and taxes are already doing to the safe alternative, or for the fact that the goal here was never meant to beat the market in the first place. It was to build something protected, controlled, and built to last for you and then for your kids. So if you haven't watched the first video in this series yet, that's genuinely the place to start. Go back and watch, is whole life insurance really a scam? Watch that with this in mind. And I think it's going to land differently the second time through. Go back and watch that one now if you haven't. The link's right there, and this time, listen for what the buy term and invest the difference crowd never mentions.